Scarlet Satine gets set on the outside as a long odds-on favourite, Supersonic Miss. They're set. And the starter lets them go and they're off and racing, and towards the outside, winning the start, Scarlet Satine with Some Love Somewhere, and they dispute the early lead. Going for a gallop there, just on settling down, was Deadly Merrywood, and is drifting back through the field, working around its outsider, Supersonic Miss, to avoid the trouble. Further back then on the inside came a break off to Let Us Somewhere, and they were followed by Bamako Marley, who settles down about fourth, but could get left posted here as he presses on Supersonic Miss, and soon after she takes over. So Supersonic Miss races two in front of Scarlet Satine. Some Love Somewhere, and Bamako Marley is now obliged to race without cover. Let Us Somewhere is next against the pegs, and they were followed by Miss Rodriguez. On the inside is 3D Delight. They were followed second to last as they come towards the turn into the straight there by Fountain Lakes, and down and pacing and tacking on is Deadly Merrywood. So in that order, they work their way down towards the mile pole, and Supersonic Miss, she's keen to get on with it, led by a couple of lengths on one of the bolters, Scarlet Satine. Third is Some Love Somewhere, and Bamako Marley works around the outside without cover. Locked away on the pegs is Let Us Somewhere. One out, one back as Miss Rodriguez, although here's a move. Taking off from the back is Deadly Merrywood after that early misdemeanour. Back on the inside of runners is 3D Delight, and whipping them in as Fountain Lakes. The lead time was 57.6, and it's Supersonic Miss taking the field down towards the 1200 metre turn. Deadly Merrywood sustains a run around the outside and sits up and parks without cover. Scarlet Satine's under lock and key. Third, Bamako Marley gets some cover for the first time in the race. Next is Some Love Somewhere, three markers in fifth. On the outside is Miss Rodriguez, followed by Let Us Somewhere, and then on the outside of those is Fountain Lakes, and dropping out to be last on the inside is 3D Delight. They work their way down towards the 950. First quarter of the last mile is 31.7, and the leader is Supersonic Miss, led by a neat length. Second is Deadly Merrywood, Scarlet Satine, Bamako Marley, 1-1, and then further back in the field is Some Love Somewhere, three markers fifth from Miss Rodriguez, Let Us Somewhere. Well back is Fountain Lakes, and last of all is 3D Delight as they run towards the 600 metre turn, and still the leader as they roll off the back of Supersonic Miss. There's no second quarter available for the moment. We'll give you a middle half in a moment because he starts to let slide on Supersonic Miss, and look at her go. She's raced about three in front of Scarlet Satine. Bamako Marley works around the outside, and then came Deadly Merrywood, Some Love Somewhere, and Miss Rodriguez heads the remainder. That middle half was 56.9 as they flatten in, and Supersonic Miss has left them lamenting. It's race six in front of Bamako Marley running into second, then Some Love Somewhere. Right down the outside is Fountain Lakes, but below the 150. This is a one-act affair. Have a look at her go. She's well named because she's going like a supersonic Learjet. She's bolted away from them, Supersonic Miss. He's barely flinched on her, and she'll win by about 6 lengths. Second and third at the line, close to a dead heat. Bamako Marley was kicking with Fountain Lakes diving at it, and splitting them is Some Love Somewhere. And that guy, they got right away there from 3D Delight. Deadly Merrywood followed further back in the field. The next one to clock in, well back there, was Miss Rodriguez, and Scarlet Satine was back towards the tail of the field with Let Us Somewhere. She came home in 28.6. She's rated 157.2.